See, I feel that way. I really do. I don't belong here. Talk about a square peg in a round hole. I don't fit in. I can't go along with this nonsense and all this kind of stuff that's going on. And see, they want to come around and they want to mark your front door electronically with their census. They want to get you ready to be immunized against this flu that popped up from nowhere. They want to control what they call the common herd. After all, wasn't it Albert Pike who said in Morals and Dogma that talked about energy or force uncontrolled? I don't know, John, if you'd ever read that or not, but it's right in the first part of his book that you have to control the forces of humanity. Otherwise, it's just like steam. It's worthless. It goes up out of the tea kettle, and what does it do? It doesn't do any work. That you've got to control the common herd. You've got to control the force of the people. Because you don't know what's good for you. They got to run your life for you. That way, everything will be in harmony. That's the way they think. No, I don't belong down here. I'm just here on assignment, just for a while. We're trying to get home, folks. And that's in God's hands. For they that say such things declare plainly that they seek a country. If I'm going to say I'm a stranger and I'm a pilgrim on earth, I also have to say I'm seeking a country. A better one than this, I'll guarantee you that right now. And truly, if they had been mindful of that country, from whence they came out, they might have had opportunity to have returned. But now they desire a better country. Do you think, could there possibly be a better country than that of the USA? I think, beginning to think Bongo Wongo land is better than the USA. Come on. This is the most reprobate, ungodly place. You know, they gave Arnold Schwarzenegger a doctorate degree, a guy that can't even talk. Duh, you know. Just a big, dumb hunk of meat. He becomes governor of California, and the guy can't even talk. Give him a doctorate in what? Speaking of doctorates, Harvard University now has set up a department with a professor chairing that department. And the department is, and you can actually get a degree in the subject. You can get a bachelor's, a master's, or a doctorate degree in, are you ready for this? Sexuality regarding gay, lesbian, transvestite affairs. Do you imagine having a doctorate degree in queerdom? The head king of all the queers. Huh? Harvard University, very prestigious. What do you got your degree in? Queers. Huh? Teach everybody to accept them, not to be homophobes. You know what? If I had a 501c3 status, they could pull it for just me saying that. But they don't have anything to pull because I don't have one. And I'm at the point where I want to go. I don't care what they do. It doesn't matter. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm just going to go for it. Like it says in the book of Acts, let her drive, meaning that ship carrying Paul to Rome. Let her drive. Take it as far as you can take it. It says, but now they desire a better country, that is in heavenly. Wherefore God is not ashamed to be called their God, for he hath prepared for them a city. That's what we're looking for. You see, if we turn a page or two, you go over to Hebrews 13, we find this very beautiful verse. I should say these verses here. Verse 12, Hebrews 13:12. Wherefore Jesus also, that he might sanctify the people with his own blood, suffered without the gate. Let us go forth therefore unto him without the camp, bearing his reproach. They'll do everything they can to make you look stupid, intolerant, that you are part of the problem, that you are being a burden on Mother Earth because you won't assimilate. with all of their ideologies. You won't accept one worldism. You won't accept old Obama there, that beloved world leader that people are cheering for all over the world. That you won't go along with this country becoming communist. That you disagree with it. But after all, who are you and who are we? A voice now crying in the wilderness. But it's still a voice and it's still crying. And as long as one person is doing it, that thought lives. If everybody shuts up, we've had it. We must cry out. John the Baptist, oh, what a nonconformist he was. Dressed in camel skin, crying out, and yet the Bible says he was the greatest of all the prophets. He never did a miracle, never one. The Bible tells us John did no miracle. But Jesus said he was the greatest of all the prophets because of the message he carried. He was turning the hearts of the fathers to the children. He was trying to get them home because home is forever. You know, it says in verse 14, Hebrews 13:14, for here we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come. There is no continuing city on this earth. They're all coming down. Every one of them. They will be no more. I remember taking the Staten Island ferry across, I did it many times, from St. George's in Staten Island to Whitehall Terminal in New York, and I was with my friend Bill Rock, and we stepped off the boat, and we're walking down the cement ramp and looking up at southern Manhattan, the big skyscrapers, 400 skyscrapers, some of them all of glass. I looked over, I saw the Woolworth building, that very old building. That's quite a piece of masonry, too. I looked around at all these big buildings. I said, just think, Bill, the cities of the nations fell. They're all going to fall down. I said, all of this is going to come down. Little did I know that 7 weeks later, several of those buildings did come down, including the Twin Towers. And that was just a little sample of what's coming. The cities of the nations fell. There are conspiracies working within conspiracies. There are all kinds of intrigues going on. Satan is trying to work his plan. His signal is that when the lights in New York City go out for the last time, it means they now have completed their project of absolute takeover. And that was written in a book called Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand, a mistress of Philip Rothschild. It's a long, long, long book. And, of course, it ends with the primary character in an airplane flying over New York. All the lights go out. And then he makes the benediction sign, the sign of a dollar. The death of the dollar, the death of New York City, because from the ashes rises a new world order. Ein Volk, ein Reich, ein Führer. You know, this world is failing. The institutions of the world are failing. The stock market is failing. I say, but they've been up a little bit. That's a sugar high. You know what a sugar high is, don't you? Did you ever have a sugar high? I don't do that anymore. I used to get sugar highs. That's why I ended up in such bad shape. But anyway, go out and get a couple of donuts, you know, with a gooey filling in them, and a couple of chocolate bars for dessert after the donuts. Big cup of Starbucks, and pound that down, and boy, I'll tell you what, your altitude goes up and you're flying. Woo, I can get through this day. Boy, can I work. And then about 2 or 3 hours later, oh, I'm dying.